And we are back. This is live at the Center for Performing Arts at Rhinebeck. This is our October show. Everything is changing. The leaves are changing. The temperature is changing. We're all wheezing and sneezing. And we have wheezing and sneezing. That's how poetic. We have a wonderful menu in October. We're starting off on September 29th, actually. It's the first show of our 17-18 season. Dark of the Moon. By Howard Richardson and William Burney, and I'll read what Prince Kevin Archambault wrote in here, and maybe he got it from Andy, who is the director. A haunting drama with bluegrass music, and the grass is indeed blue in the Appalachians, set in the Smoky Mountains by Howard Richardson and William Burney, based on the folk ballad Barbara Allen. The plot recounts the story of John, a witch boy, who falls in love with a human. It's sort of an extended version of Pinocchio. So Andy, this opens on September 29 and it runs to October 8th, and we had you on last month.
That's right.
And you had a couple of the actors on, but we thought we'd bring you back and do some of the music and also talk to your choreographer. So this is Andy Weintraub. He is the lighting designer, set designer, director. This is Lily Kahan. Lily is playing fiddle, right? That's what I'm saying correctly. Marcus McGregor, Leon McGregor, who is choreography and stage movement, right?
Yes.
And Russell Austin, and Russ is playing guitar, but you've also compiled all the music, and you're like the MD on the show?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that, yes.
So, Andy, is the music in the show, or did you add the music to
No,
the show?
the music is written into the show, and Russ was able to download the sheet music. There's no music per se there. A few pages in the back, but nothing that we could actually use.
So it doesn't specify a specific ballad? It just
Well,
says,
sure. I mean,
it does.
there's a bit of On Top of Old Smoky, only it's On Top of Old Baldy. There's the Ballad of Barbara Allen, which is an ancient Scottish song.
And Marcus wrote that.
And there are lots of others. Give Me That Old Time Religion. What are some of the other songs, Russ? I can't.
Well, we've borrowed a few, actually. We're doing the Tennessee Waltz you'll hear in this show. John Williams, which I had never heard of. I had to go to the Library of Congress.
That's a ballad?
It's not a ballad. It's actually an up-tempo bluegrass type of tune.
What's it about? I've never heard of it.
It's about a guy who courts a woman and decides he doesn't really want to be true to her and marry her, so he takes her to the river and drowns her.
Kanye West, I think, covered this.
It's divorced bluegrass style.
It's a divorced bluegrass. I
Yeah. So there are lots. There are some songs that are in the back of the book, and for some of them, I went to the Library of Congress and went through a lot of the work that Alan Lomax did and found tunes that were from that region, and then arranged them for the.
So how big is the band?
We have a fiddle player, guitar player, washtub bass player, and a second guitar player. So
And a banjo.
and a banjo.
Who are all these people?
On banjo, we have Tom Storace, Lily Kahan, of course, on fiddle. Andy
Chris Bell.
Chris Bell
Bell.
is playing the guitar,
Yeah.
and Jacob Ansbach is playing the washtub bass.
I didn't know that Jacob was a musician. He's also acting in the show, isn't he?
Jacob is also, he plays Floyd Allen.
Floyd Allen.
Barbara Allen's brother.
Are you in the show too, Lily?
Yes, I
You do? Do you have lines?
I have one line.
You
yeah.
have one
I
line.
have
Russell,
one
do you have lines?
I am
Russell
Uncle
has
Smelly
quite a
Q,
few
who is
lines.
the village. Everybody has the village guy that never takes a bath and all
Tell,
that.
tell
that's
us,
you.
tell us about your rheumatism, Russ.
Yes, I have rheumatism. all kinds
Marcus,
of
are you in the show as
No,
well?
I am not.
So, but you've just done the choreography
Yes,
and the
I've
body
just done the choreography. and
Well,
body
not
movement.
just.
Not just.
Not just.
So, like, is this got big choreography? Big choreography?
Well, it has a lot of movement in it. The choreography is pretty simple, but it's good for the show.
Uh-huh.
And
Marcus has been sitting by my side throughout the process of blocking and directing. And I turn around and I look at him and I say, we got to have some, it's too static. And he gets up and he makes it dynamic.
Well, that's
It's
great.
really-
So you have a background in dance, I assume?
Yes, I do.
Where did you study?
So I danced for Dance Theater of Harlem in New York City. And when I left there, I went to the Feld Ballet, Elliott Feld, and danced with them for a number of years. Prior to that, I studied ballet at SAB, School of American Ballet. I studied at Hartford Ballet. I studied with the Joffrey Ballet Company. So,
What are you doing here?
So I retired from dance and I moved north, and so now I teach dance locally.
Where do you
And
teach?
So I teach at a couple of schools. One is Hudson Valley Academy of Performing Arts, right outside of Hudson. Another school is in Cooksaki, and it's called Creative Studios, and it's on Mansion Street. And I teach mostly young kids and adults, and also choreograph at a lot of local theater up where I live, in the Hudson, Athens area. A lot of the high school musicals and stuff. So,
Great. Great.
And he also raises chickens.
Yeah. I raised
That comes in handy.
Yeah.
How? Because you get eggs? Is that what you get?
You get eggs
You
and you
cast
get
people
meat.
because you want
Eggs
the
and
eggs.
meat.
And
Eggs
meat.
and meat.
Yes.
All right. Cool. And Lily, so you told me you're 17, so I know Lily's mom and dad since I first moved up here, so that's like 25 years. And are you going to study? I mean, you're a real musician, and where are you
Yeah.
going to go?
I don't know yet.
You don't
I have
know?
my audition season coming in January and February.
So you're still in high school?
I'm still in high school.
Where
I'm
are you
still-
going?
I'm actually homeschooled. My
Homeschooled?
mom has homeschooled me since
Your
I
mom
was in first
homeschooled
grade,
you?
Since I was in
How
first grade.
cool
yeah.
is that? Is she stern?
I mean, she kind of gave up when I started doing algebra. So,
Does your dad pitch in?
no, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
He's like he'll help me with what he can, but he's not very.
And you haven't done anything here, have you?
When I was like 6, I got to hug Honk.
You
on
were in
stage.
Honk.
I got to
Oh.
hug Honk.
Your mother played
I
the
got
to hug-
best mom
I got to hug the
of
ugly
all
duckling.
time. She really was so fabulous. in
Yeah,
that
she
show.
made me cry every night.
Yeah.
She did.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is Dark of the Moon, a haunting drama, and it opens on September 29. It closes on October the 8th, 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 3 p.m. on Sunday. And you know how to get to us, 845-876-3080. Wednesday through Saturday between the hours of 1 and 5. That's our box office. And if you want to order tickets online, you can do that 24 hours a day, centerforperformingarts.org. And we're going to hear some music from Russell and Lily later in the program. And I asked you last time, but I want you to tell me again, because you seem to be on a roll with Inherit the Wind, also set in the South, also dealing with intolerant themes. And
Right.
is that why you've chosen this show again? I mean, is it in the same modality?
Well, I have to say, not completely. I chose the show because it's just a wonderful, fun play. I can tell you the actors are having a lot of fun. Between the dialect and the humor and the music, it's something that you want to see in a show. It'll keep people comfortable in their seats. They'll enjoy the goings on a deeper level, though. Absolutely, the show is about tolerance, or the lack of intolerance, really, and the conflict between almost two different religious traditions.
Right.
Christianity on the one hand, and, for lack of a better description, witchcraft on the other hand.
Wiccan.
Wiccan, right. Well, not the Wiccan
That we know.
that might be modern,
Right.
but the tradition and the lore of the Smoky Mountains.
One of the first groups of people that we persecuted. Witches,
That's right. That's
right?
That's right.
In the latter part of the 17th century. Because we wanted all those women's property.
Right, and some people have suggested in their reviews of the show back in the 1940s when it first came out, their suggestions and their discussions implied an anti-McCarthy approach to the problem, although McCarthy hadn't yet.
But wasn't this written in the 40s?
It was written actually in the late 30s.
Late 30s.
It came to Broadway in 1944.
Right. Okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Dark of the Moon, you know how to get to us. 845-876-3080, Wednesday through Saturday, 1 to 5, always online, 24 hours a day, centerforperformingarts.org. There's a show on, well, it opens on September 29, closes on October 8, always Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m., Sunday, 3 p.m. Tickets are $24 and $22. And Russell is the MD, and he will be playing, and Marcus is body movement choreography. Sounds like he's assistant directing. Lily is fiddle, and she has one line in the show. And Andy is directing lights and sound. And who else is in this show that we should mention?
Oh, gee, who else is in the
Caitlin
show?
Connolly is playing Barbara Allen.
She was on last month.
Caitlin Connolly and Taylor Supple,
Right.
who was
John.
playing John the Witch.
Right.
Ann Davis is Mrs. Allen. Jacob Onspach, who's been on a lot of productions, plays Floyd Allen. My God, we can't go through the whole list.
Now, how many people are in the show?
There are 22 people. in it.
22. It's a small village. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, Dark of the Moon, September 29 through October 8, and we will be back. And we are back. Don't forget, Dark of the Moon, September 29 through October 8, here at the Center for Performing Arts. And on Saturday night, October the 14th, we have a special treat. This is my good friend Sal Maneri. Sal is a Tivoli native. Sal and I, we run into each other outside the post office, or he's going into Murray's, I'm coming out of Murray's. But we also have another connection that I'll talk about later. Sal has been our resident master of the piano. He tunes it and keeps it running, and that's his business. Sal, you were in a show 16 years ago, Fiorello.
Fiorello is really where I got my restart in
Right.
theater. I was
Because you had taken a break.
yeah, I was raising kids. My 18-year-old daughter now, Angelina, was just born,
Yeah.
so that's 17 years.
So Sal was here tuning the piano, I guess, like almost a year ago, 6 months ago,
Yeah.
7, and he was tuning, and he finished tuning, and he was crooning, and I was out there cleaning the bathroom, which is it's my primary job, and I heard him, and I said, "Have you ever considered putting together a trio or a quartet and doing an evening?" And he said, "No, it sounds interesting," and hence, here we are.
my new manager.
And I'm getting 10% of nothing. 10% of nothing is nothing.
Of course.
Right.
But no, but it was true though. At Fiorello, at that point, I was hardly singing.
Yeah.
Ellen wanted to give me a solo in the show.
Right, I remember you stepped down and did
And
something.
we're gonna do Making Whoopi
Again?
on the 14th.
Cool.
And then of course John Hurd,
Right.
God rest his soul, never acted in a musical before, and
Right.
we coached him through the whole thing, and it was a great hit. And then after that, the guys in the pit automatically assumed I was like a club singer or a troubadour or whatever.
So who have you put together for this? I know you said you have John Esposito.
Very
who's
exciting.
Big name, and he's been here many times.
Amazing pianist.
Yeah, who else you got?
We got Jesse Murphy and Aaron Johnston. They're the drummer and rhythm section, drums and bass, from a really hot band called Brazilian Girls. There's no Brazilian girls in the group. But
Not on this Saturday.
no, we're more like Sicilian girls. We're going to be here.
Oh, hey.
And so anyway, yeah. So they're like a hit factory. Aaron and Jesse, awesome rhythm section. Of course, Esposito. I'm going to comp myself later in the show today, and we tried to get John here today, not to make excuses.
Well, he's been
but-
on this show a couple times.
He's a virtuoso.
So what are you going to do? You're going to do like the Great American Songbook, or what?
Right. Songs out of the Cole Porter, Gershwin, Kurt Weill.
Very good.
I was going to mix in a couple of like Stevie Wonder songs. And I thought to myself, wow, as much as I love all that music, these tunes are where Stevie was coming from when he grew up.
Right.
And everyone's doing standard records now. People, Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
So I feel like I want to stay in the tradition.
That's great.
Of like I call it like Sinatra with a twist.
Now, you were trained as an actor, though.
Exactly.
All right, so we have this connection that goes like the first time I met Sal, he was here, I guess it was like in 1998 or 9, and he was doing something around here, and we got to talking about our youths, and I said that my mentor, when I was at St. Anthony's High School back in 1961, was a Franciscan by the name of Brother Jonathan Reinkamp.
Ringkamp, right?
Ringkamp, is that how he said it?
It could have been Ringkamp.
Yeah, and he was a painter. He was also an English teacher, but he had been a really good playwright, actor, and director before he joined the Franciscans. And he's the guy who got me started in theater. And if it weren't for him, I would not be here now. Maybe that's a good thing. Who knows? But then Sal told me that Jonathan was his mentor.
Absolutely.
In a very famous theater company that Jonathan had with the actress Geraldine Fitzgerald, called the Everyman Theater Company, which was a big street theater company in New York for a long time. The heyday, the last dying gasp of off.
And they literally got us off the street.
You guys were
So-
busted so many
Wait,
times.
we were
Yeah.
kids. I mean, we were
Yeah.
street kids in Red Hook, Brooklyn.
Right.
And there's a section between Gowanus and Park Slope. It was on Fifth Avenue and Union Street. It was one of the worst neighborhoods. One of the twins in my neighborhood, Louis Papalero, he said, "So, come on, you want to be an actor with me? Come on, we go be actors." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, Louis," you know.
And that's how you met Jonathan?
So we walk in, and Geraldine Jonathan wasn't there that day. Geraldine Fitzgerald, the famous actress from, like The Pallbearer.
Yeah.
Not The Pallbearer, The Pawnbroker, I'm sorry.
Right.
Humphrey Bogart movies.
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. I mean, she was amazing. An English woman who was sort of raised in Canada. Brother Jonathan and Geraldine met at their mother's nursing home in Canada. That's how they met.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what their connection
So
was.
she came to the door. We didn't even know who she was. She was, "Oh, hello. Oh, come in, fellows."
Well,
She's
she
wearing.
had dropped out of the biz by the time
She was already in her like late 60s.
Yeah.
She was playing bag women on TV shows,
Right.
but still getting work. So she got a grant to do the Everyman Company. It was a multiracial cast of Hamlet that we did. We did Everyman and Roach was based on the medieval tale of Everyman. Roach lived in a garbage can, and Everyman was a nightclub owner. They got us our D's, Dems, and Does gone within months. I mean, I'm still talk like I'm from the neighborhood, but we had Quincy Edwards from the Alvin Ailey Dance Company. We had people like F. Murray Abraham coming to teach. He was at Brooklyn College at the time. So we had
Salieri.
conservatory training.
And Amadeus.
Salieri.
Yeah.
So we had conservatory training at the Everyman. Then when my mom found out that Geraldine was the program director, artistic director, she come running to want to be in the shows with us. And I was so embarrassed. And Brother Jonathan would be like, "Annie, leave him alone," because she'd be like trying to dote on me in front of Geraldine and
Well,
everybody.
and then, but you went, and this is during the heyday of the war.
Yeah.
The war was going on, and
Yeah.
Jonathan and Geraldine were very politically hip.
Yep.
Jonathan was always a real social progressive,
Yep.
and all his work, evidenced that. But from that company, you then went on and did big stuff.
Yeah, to the streets of New York. We did the Dag Hammarskjöld Plaza, the Avery Fisher Hall, Lincoln Center, the Public Theater, La Mama, etc.,
Right.
with Ellen Stewart. We went to Watts, California, doing it in the streets during the riots.
I remember that.
I mean,
yeah.
they had to close the streets off, while we're doing the bus and truck stuff. It was remarkable. And then Ronnie Boy, Reagan had to come along and screw it all up for us.
All the granting
That-
went away.
Goodbye, Charlie.
Yeah, I know. All our grants went away too. Interestingly enough, when I was doing work in '68 in college, I got a huge grant from President Nixon and took a show to the first All-American College Theater Festival in Washington, D.C. And Joan Crawford actually built a theater for us to perform. And the money during the Nixon era and during Ford and during Carter, there was huge arts money. When President Reagan came along, it got cut by about 75%.
Yeah.
Huge cuts.
So-
But anyway,
yeah.
tell me about your career after Everyman.
So then, it legitimized us. And so I got really lucky. By the time I turned 17, I said, heck with, I quit high school to become an actor. I couldn't, join the circus. And then at that point, I got my first feature film, it was Nunzio in '77. Got my SAG card, and we got a manager after that, Selma Rubin. And then started doing third, fourth leads in, like gang flicks and, B movies. I played a lot of different types of characters, but still kept my theater thing going. And sort of gave up singing at that point.
Right.
So the singing thing didn't happen until.
So when did that, when you moved back up here?
Yeah. After Fiorello, that was it,
Right.
And then I just really.
I launched his lounge career.
Exactly, and now we're concertizing.
All right, so you're going to be playing here on Saturday, October the 14th.
Right.
Tickets are $20, Kevin, for Sal, is that it? $20 across the board. You know how to get to us, 845-876-3080. Wednesday through Saturday, 1 to 5, always online, 24 hours a day, centerforperformingarts.org. And thanks to Jonathan, we're both here.
Right. May I also say, we have a gig September 20th. This is my birthday celebration at the Falcon down in Marlboro, which is a kind of like the
This
blue,
group?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
quartet?
yes. That's kind of like the blue note of the Hudson Valley.
You haven't played together before, have you?
We just formed the band when
Just
you
for
gave us
this?
the date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
So we had a couple of rehearsals. We had a gig a couple of weeks ago up in the New York restaurant in Catskill. So, I mean, Esposito, as you know, is a tune machine,
Right.
you know. But I'm still begging for rehearsals, and, you know, we're doing our thing. And
All right, cool. So
Okay.
Sal's going to be here October the 14th, Sal Maneri Quartet. It's a pleasure having him on. And Jonathan is now no longer with us, but thank God for him.
yes, yeah, Brother Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Thanks, Lou.
And we are back, and thanks to Sal Maneri. Don't forget Sal and his quartet on Saturday night, October the 14th. And don't forget Dark of the Moon, September 29th through October the 8th is our cheerleading section. You know how to get to us, 845-876-3080, Wednesday through Saturday, 1 to 5, always online, 24 hours a day. You wake up and you say, I've got to hear some selections from the Great American Songbook. So you go on our website, centerforperformingarts.org. Now, also playing in the month of October and dribbling into November, dribble, 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 is Clue. And I'm not supposed to say anything at all about Clue because he's afraid I'm going to give it away.
Yeah, you can't give it away.
So Kevin is the director. This is Jess Truan. She's in Clue. There's Cheryl Engelhardt, who's also in Clue. You might know Cheryl because she's also been a musical director here for Kevin's production of La Cage aux Folles. And Jess has been in 111 different things. And Jess also works here, and Kevin also, he comes in. I don't know what work he does, but he's here.
Build in the stage
Kevin
with
is
the
director
shoe,
of public
with the
relations,
shoe.
and he also does a lot of workshops, and you're going to be doing the big, can we say anything about that?
Yes, sure. Say it.
We're piloting, Disney Corporation has identified us.
One of.
One of how many? Do you know how many
I
there
don't
are?
know.
There's a couple of community theaters around the country who are premiering a brand new Disney show, Newsies, Junior. And we're it. And we're performing when?
Let's say one of them.
May.
May? And you're
Early
directing
May.
it.
Yeah.
Early May.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
It is. I'm
for us.
very excited. Very
So
excited. to
he's
work with
doing
you.
that. So anyway, so tell me, they're in Clue, right?
Everyone's shocked.
No,
Everyone's shocked.
I-
No, it's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
You didn't know about it.
I had no idea.
It's
Yeah,
really huge.
Newsies, this
We
is
got
I love
this
Newsies.
thanks to David Simpatico,
Simpatico, yeah.
who used to be with Half Moon,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
now Howl Playwrights.
Right.
And Howl is now part of the Center family.
Yeah.
And we're going to we'll be doing 2 weekends of Howl plays. What?
They're on there.
Are they all here? Howling, Howlin, Feb 23 to 25 is the first weekend, and then
first-
we're doing them again in September.
September, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so tell me about Clue. What am I not supposed to say?
Well, you just don't want to give it away, right? So, I mean, it's a perfect show for the holiday season, for the happy Halloween season. You know, it's based off of the Parker Brothers board game, and it's what we all grew up playing, right? It's those wonderful, iconic characters that I certainly remember as I rolled the dice
I
playing as a
never played.
You never played
never
Clue?
played?
No.
Oh man,
We have to
it
have a
still to this
Clue
day
night.
is like my favorite board game. I love playing it.
Never
Makes
played.
sense.
And I think it makes the sense for actors because, like, playing it, I imagine what's actually happening,
Yeah.
like while moving across the board. And so,
Yeah.
like, these characters, and with the help of the audience in this production, you have to find out in what room, who, and with what weapon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So the audience actually gets to solve the crime?
They get to help a little bit.
Yeah.
They
And
give, they
so
give some
tell
influence.
tell me the progress of this. So it was a board game, then the movie, then the play,
Yes. Yeah. Then the musical.
and then the musical. So
Right.
board game, movie, play, musical.
Yeah.
And we're doing,
Clue.
okay, that's all I have to say. And you're playing who?
I am Mrs. White. I'm playing
Mrs. White. And
yes.
you are
Miss Scarlet.
Miss Scarlet.
right.
So I only saw the movie of this. So is that pretty accurate is it dead on to the play?
No, there's some alterations to it a little bit, but certainly the in terms of like the style and the pace of it, yes, very
Are they
similar.
both suspects?
Yes, everyone's a suspect in Clue,
Including you.
including you.
I'm not in it.
You don't know that.
You don't know everything.
Wait a minute. I said I would be a dead body for you if you
Exactly.
wanted.
Who knows? Who knows?
I'm not going to.
What was your cameo
doesn't
for
know
me
how to
from
say
Billy?
no?
20 seconds at the
That
end
was
of
the most
Thoroughly Modern Millie.
incredible
20 seconds.
When you
For the
came
curtain.
out.
No dialogue.
That was so amazing.
But was it not hysterical?
It
Those
was
of you that saw
worth the
Billy,
price of
amazing.
admission.
It was
So
worth it.
Cheryl,
Yes.
you do musical directing, but you also do a lot of studio work, and you compose and perform, and you teach.
I do.
And where are you now?
On stage.
No, I know that, but I mean like when you're in that career.
Yeah, I'm writing music for commercials and for choral groups, doing some weird choral stuff. I just got back from Israel with an international group,
Cool.
which was interesting, to say the least. I am working on a musical, and every once in a while,
A
working
full-length musical of your own.
Yes.
How cool is that? Let us know. We'll premiere it.
Oh, exciting.
Kevin will direct it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
And Jess, so you're a mainstay here. I mean, you're in everything. And
She actually has a cot backstage. She just sleeps here.
the audience, when they call up for tickets, they say, "Is Jess in this show?"
Oh God.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
So you're no, it's not. Actually,
Really?
people do say, "Is Jess Truland in this show?" So you're doing Clue.
Yes.
Are you going to be reprising Wonderful Life? Do you know?
I don't know yet. Because auditions are on Monday. Is that right?
This Monday?
It's coming up.
The-
Like it's soon.
The 20 some I don't remember.
No, I think it was the 18th and the 19th, which is this coming.
Wow.
So I
It's
don't know if
like
that's
this
gonna-
next week is the audition.
Next
Yes,
week.
yeah.
See, I totally blotted that off my calendar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
there.
You'll be there.
So you'll be there for that.
Yeah.
And you'll be back for Christmas Carol?
Yes,
Great.
to my knowledge.
All right. So you've got like 3 things lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then auditions for
God of
God of
Carnage
Carnage.
and Next to Normal.
Next to
But
Normal.
he's doing Next to Normal, I'm doing God of Carnage.
Yeah.
And we're doing it as a rotating rep. I open on a Friday, then I play a Saturday afternoon, then he's the Saturday night and the Sunday afternoon, and then the next week we flip it. We're going to share a set.
Yeah.
I've got 4 people in my play. You've got 6
Six.
in your play.
Yeah.
They're both, we have a theme that the center is pursuing this year, dysfunctional families. And certainly the family in Normal and Carnage are very dysfunctional. And then we've got King Lear,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Doll's House, Lion and Winter, August Osage County. And they're all about families not really.
when is Lion in Winter? When
That's
is
part of
that?
the Shakespeare Fest.
That's
It
Shakespeare,
opens
okay.
Shakespeare Fest. We go Lion, Lear,
King.
Ernest.
Ernest.
Oh, okay.
Horns of being
Yeah.
Ernest. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
Cheryl, where did you study music?
Ithaca. I knew it.
Yeah, you did know it.
I was just there.
I went to Cornell University, and then
Oh, yeah.
I studied orchestration at Juilliard a couple years after I graduated.
And how'd you get to us?
I moved to New Paltz from Manhattan when I got married to a mountain guide who wanted to live somewhere in the woods, and I said, "You have a 2-hour radius around Los Angeles or New York. Pick one." So that's where we moved, and I did some productions with 90 Miles off Broadway, and one
Yeah.
of my friends from there was in Jekyll and Hyde here.
Which Kevin directed.
Which Kevin directed.
Yeah.
So I came to a show here, and I was like, "Oh, this is a nice space." And I saw the show, and on the back of the program it said auditions for Spamalot, and it was the next day. It was the last day of auditions for Spamalot, and I was like, this is a drive, but this show is amazing. So I auditioned for Spamalot, and then
Was that
you
your
know-
first acting gig ever?
No, I mean I was in a drama. I was the president of my drama club in high school.
Were you?
And you know, so
Fancy.
yeah, I was co-president. There were 2 of us down.
So are you
I know.
still living in the woods? And how far away are you? You say
I'm
it's
in New
only-
Paltz. It's
Well,
like a
was it,
45.
like 50 minutes?
45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, it's not. It's totally worth it.
Yeah, yeah. And where did you go to school?
Red Hook. And
No,
then
college.
Duchess.
Did you study with him?
Yeah. He was one of my professors.
Is that how you got here, because of him?
No, I knew this place existed for years when I was younger because I knew like Kathleen Kelly and other people who were doing shows.
Well,
here
Kathleen
all
had
the
been
time.
here since she was in middle school.
Yeah, Kathleen had been here for a while. So yeah, and she's only a couple years older than me, so I always knew that this place was here. I was just too shy to audition, if you can believe it.
We used to be neighbors. She used to live like a block and a half away from me in Tivoli.
Literally down the road.
But now you're in
Rhinebeck. Like now I'm like 4 minutes
Right,
down
yeah.
the road this way.
And you went to where? University of Colorado? No, where'd you go?
St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
So,
Texas
St.
has
Edward.
a whorehouse in it. God have mercy.
Was that a
on our
Catholic
soul.
school?
It was.
Yeah, you went to Catholic.
I went to a Catholic private university.
Did you go to Catholic high school too?
No, I went to a high school of performing arts in Denver.
In Denver.
Yeah.
Did you go to Catholic high school?
No, I didn't go to high school.
You didn't go to high school.
I barely went.
You barely went. All right, so this is, I don't know what that got to do with anything. I'm just catching up
Just catching up.
on
Old
the Roman
friends.
thing, the papist theme. All right, so this is Clue. We're not going to tell you anything about it other than it is based on the board game, and
It's
it
a
does.
lot of fun. It's,
It
if
really
you
is.
saw if you ever saw Noises Off, it's very similar.
like
It's a
that.
farce. It's
Yeah, yeah.
slamming doors and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's
And
great
who
for the
else is in
whole
the show?
family.
Who else is in
Oh,
the
we
show?
got a great cast. The other Mrs. Peacock is played by Victoria Howland.
Vicky, yeah.
Joe Bongiorno plays our butler.
Who may or may not have done it.
Who may or may not have done it. I
knows?
know, exactly. Tom Bunker is Mr. Green.
So good.
Rob Rowe is Colonel Mustard, and David Foster is playing Professor Plum. And then
Cool.
a couple of extra minor characters that we're not going to mention.
Surprises?
Surprises,
And
my
does
friends.
the audience
Surprise.
really get to guess who is the murderer?
It's part of the program as well. Yeah. So yeah.
Today, we're filming this out of sequence, but today is the birthday of the most popular, most published author in the world, Agatha Christie.
Oh sure.
It's her birthday today. What's today? September 14th?
14th.
Yeah. So she's like, she would be 100? Well, over 100.
yeah.
Anyway, I didn't know she was the most published.
Well, makes sense though.
Most
that
People
published.
does
love a
make
good
sense.
murder mystery.
Yeah, they really do.
True.
All right, so this is Clue, ladies and gentlemen, a mystery in which you get to guess the surprise ending. October 20th through November 5, this is an Up in One production produced by Diana DeGrande, who couldn't be with us today. Diana is also directing and producing for her company, It's a Wonderful Life, and she'll also be directing for Center Stage, A Christmas Carol. So you'll get to see Jess back twice. Anyway, Clue, October 20, November 5. You know how to get to us. Wednesday through Saturday, 1 to 5, 845-876-3080. Always online, 24 hours a day, centerforperformingarts.org. All tickets for Clue are $22.
22 across the board.
22 across the board. All right, so that's it, and we'll be back.
Hit it, fiddle girl. Yeehaw. And this is the Ballad of Barbara Allen.
Oh, which boy from the mountain came, a pining to be human, for he had seen the fairest gal, a gal named Barbara Allen. Now Barbara had a red dress, and one she had of blue, and many men did Barbara love, but never was she true. Oh, Barbara, will you marry me? And will you leave me never? Oh, yes, my love, I'll marry you and live with you forever.
has the time all gone to? We haven't done half the things we want to. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. This day was just a token. There's so many words that are still unspoken. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. Just when the fun is starting, there comes that time for partying. But let's be glad for what we've had, and what's to come. There's so much more embracing, still to be had. But oh, how time is racing. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. Some other time. Some other time. Some other time.
Okay, I jumped the gun on that. Okay, that's thanks to Sal Maneri. You heard Sal on piano. Don't forget to see his show on October the 14th, Sal Maneri Quartet. Also thanks to Russell Austin on guitar, Lily Kahan on fiddle. Don't forget to see them, Dark of the Moon, opening on September 29th, playing till October the 8th. And also don't forget these folks in Clue, October 20th, November 5, Cheryl Engelhardt playing Ms. Scarlett. Kevin Archambault, director extraordinaire, directing Clue. Jess Truan, Mrs. White in Clue. And that's our show for this month, and we'll see you next month. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Kiss, kiss.